Most marriage counselors do more harm than good.
Whoa.
Wow.
The right marriage counselor will save your marriage, but a lot of people go into become therapists and counselors. Why?
Because they're crazy themselves.
Because they've had a lot of trauma and
Right.
things like this, and sometimes it inspires them.
Yes.
Most of the bestsellers on marriage on the New York Times bestseller list are written by people who were married several times.
Yes.
So they got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I want to learn marriage from somebody who's been married for 50 years and hung in there and has wisdom to
This is
teach.
funny. This is the logic of men, right? This is why men have a distrust of therapy. Men don't say that therapy is 100% unsuccessful or not right, but again, men don't believe there's a high success rate when it comes to therapy. Men believe you're wasting money most of the time. So yeah, if you can find a great therapist, awesome. But I honestly believe, and I think other men believe too, that therapy or therapists, it's rare to find a good one. And a lot of them they come with their own biases, right? They're not subjective. Let's say women therapists, they will most likely side with other women, okay? That's just usually, and they will put their emotions into it a lot of times, okay? And I've heard stories where female therapists have steered other women kind of feminist-like. So and that's why men don't view therapy in a great light. But I will say this, right? To men that don't view therapy in a good light, and then you still have like, I don't know, issues or like mental issues, I think developing good self-reflection is the key to success, at least mentally, where you could evaluate your life. You see all your problems, you see your faults. These are kind of, and I'm not a therapist, but I believe these are kind of like therapy techniques or ideas where you need to recognize your flaws, you need to recognize your issues and see them and put in the effort to work on them. Then why even pay for a therapist in a sense, right? You're doing the same thing that a therapist would technically say. So this is what I would say, right? Focus on self-reflection. View your life, view your personality, the actions you make. Have great self-reflection. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. But again, therapy is very iffy. So take it with a grain of salt.
All right, woman says, do you notice that men are no longer persuasive? Once they ask you out on a date and you say no, that's it, with a little frustrated emoji. And guy replies, top comment, if I want to play games, I got a PlayStation. Oh, that's great. Well done from this guy. Yeah, you know what, man? If a girl's not interested, don't bother. Do your own thing. Focus on your own.
One thing I'm loving about modern day men is that men are growing more and more having self-respect, having more value in themselves, not taking BS, okay? Men are standing up for themselves, and men are valuing their time, their effort, and their sanity. That's what I'm loving the movement of men nowadays. Men are changing. Men are standing up for themselves. Men are voicing their feelings, their thoughts. They're not letting things slide anymore. Men are focusing on their happiness, their sanity, their mental health. And I am all for supporting that. Because for years, men have suffered in silence because they thought it was the right thing to do. They thought it would pay off because they would get, the happy ending, the picket fence, the family, all that stuff. Now, with how women are, with how society treat men, they're waking up. Men are waking up from it. They're thinking about themselves now, and I'm all for it. Okay, because in my opinion, men have always sacrificed their bodies, their mental health, their life for women and for society. But now men see that it does not pay off. So men are now walking away or have higher level of self-respect, and they see value in themselves, and they see value in thinking about themselves. So I'm all for it, and I support men that think like this. Like I said, I think good men, you don't need to push it anymore. Pursuing doesn't mean nothing, because you don't know what type of women you're going to get. So I'm all for men to just, if they ask a woman out and she says no, all good.
Alright, guys, you meet a woman like this, how do you feel? Because to women, this feels like empowerment for them. So this girl, Selena, brags about her dating history: surgeon, doctor, politician, finance, 6'4", engineer, business founder, finance, doctor, engineer, company founder, artist, CEO, surgeon, not sure, never said, but he's 6'4". Finance, corporate lawyer, doctor, business founder, politician, model, finance, investment banker, surgeon, university professor, data analyst, 6'4". Pilot, investment banker, bioengineer, ran a startup, professor.
A woman like that, that has that kind of dating history, cannot be satisfied. You, as the next man, cannot satisfy this woman, because no other men have. So what would be so? That's why, you see, that's her body count, her history, right? What can you bring that's so special that all these other men couldn't? And this is my controversial take. A lot of women has a kind of history like that. A lot of women have dealt with men that were good men, were commitment-minded men, were, men with good jobs, all this stuff, and yet women still found faults in them. So a list like that, right, a dating history like that, just shows me that I believe typically women just can't be satisfied. They either don't know what they want, or they will always monkey branch. They will always think that the grass is greener, that they always think that they could get better, or they could always find those same type of men again, right? You can always find another investment banker. You can always find another multi-millionaire. You can always find another six-figure man. That's what I believe a lot of women think, right? Even if they marry, even if they're in a relationship, they said, if I could find another man, if I could find another man that's out there, I probably will jump to the next man, because they will never be satisfied with what they have, because they always think that they can always have better, that you're nothing special, that there will always be many men that will want her. And a mentality like that just shows you that women are not as commitment minded as society makes them out to be. I believe men are more commitment minded than women are. Men are more loyal than women are, in my opinion, right? In average, generally, okay? Women are usually the ones who leave relationships, right? So it shows you why. That list shows you why women would leave relationships, would leave marriages, because they will always find the next man. And there's always going to be some man out there for them.
Oh boy. A couple met on Tinder when she was pregnant, and their fourth date was in the delivery room. There it is. Can any of you imagine yourself falling for something like this? Oh boy, another example of alpha seeds, beta needs. What does that mean? It means that women love to get their emotions going and sleeping with the men that they deem as alpha. She wants the seed of that alpha implanted in her. But then, when she can't get that guy to commit to her, she finds a beta provider to protect and provide for her financially and give her stability. The problem with being that beta provider is she never looks at you with that same admiration and respect as she did to the alpha guy.
This is men having no self-respect for themselves. Men thinking that they're not valuable. This is sad. It is really sad, right? Because you're pretty much saying that I'm worthless because I can't get anything better. Okay? So I'm going to be the simp for this woman that wouldn't have chosen me if she was in a better situation. Right? If this woman wasn't pregnant, there's a high probability, most likely, she wouldn't have chose this man. But she perceived now her value is a little bit less. So she's willing to, you know what? If this man is going to provide for me, provide for my child, then I'm going to go for this man. But you got to think, like, this woman is already a red flag. She chose a man she chose to give a child to a man that didn't deserve it, was a terrible man, that didn't want to be with her. She chose to keep this child and have this child from a man that was an ain't shit man or just whatever. And now you as a man coming in to help out the situation when this is why, right? Women do not understand accountability. Stupid men take away accountability from women where they don't need to face it. Like, here's a woman that's like, she made a stupid choice, right? She was irresponsible. And now this foolish person of a man is coming in and helping out. So now she doesn't have to worry. She doesn't have to feel the pressure of that stupid decision she made. And then when she's probably tired of you or she finds something better, she will leave because she didn't have that desire of that man to begin with. She just settled for him. This is why, right? Men's content is important because men like this, they're guideless, they're directionless, they're foolish. And then when it's too late, right? When he's married to her, he's adopted her child, and he's like, now she divorces him. Now what? Right? She leaves him. Like when the worst comes, he's destroyed. This is sad.